Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Returning from retirement for a limited time only, it's your Rising Hero! With my friend who will introduce himself, go ahead and do that.
Hey guys, you know you're happy to see me again. It's Sinful. It's Josh. I'm ready for this match. It's gonna be a great one. We here have TCU versus UTS right now, and I am stoked for this match. How about you, Rising?
Equally as stoked for this match, both of these teams have made it this far, but only one can be allowed to advance.
Yes, and definitely. And we're getting right off into this ban pick phase right now. We have Zoe and Oriana dropping on the UTS side, with Gangplank and Swain dropping for TCU. Do you see any surprises with these bans right now, Rising?
Can be a little bit surprising depending on how the skill of the player who plays it is. However, we're seeing a lot of mid bans here, and that definitely makes sense because I'm gonna let you Carry and Lemur are both very competent mid laners.
Yes, for sure. And now we have UTS dropping the Zaya as well, which is a very strong AD carry, so I'm not too surprised. She once fed, she can really skyrocket, kind of like a Tristana or a Jinx, so not too surprised with that. And then we have a Kha'Zix drop, which is interesting from TCU because Kha'Zix is kind of like in an iffy zone right now. He does do a lot of damage, but that's only when he starts getting ahead, so I feel like that's more of a target ban. How about you?
That sounds about right, but I don't know. I typically like to ban Kha'Zix almost every game. I never like to leave Kha'Zix open or available at any point, but let's see what this first pick here is.
It seems like
interesting.
Yeah.
Priorities, huh?
Yeah, so it seems like they're going to be going for the glamorous target here. Right? Well, that's a really good support though, because he both has sustain in lane and the CC to help lock down the enemy team. So I think it's a decent first pick. It could have probably waited a little bit. I don't know if that was a big priority, I would say, but it is a good support nonetheless for them to pick.
What's the counterplay? There's still a lot of really OP champions, but Varus is not one of them that comes to mind. Not for me, at least.
I feel Varus is going to probably get. He's very bursty, and Tarek is not that bursty boss, so he's probably going for more of a trying to take down the AD carry before Tarek could get the sustain back up and try to get him back in healthy. But the Alistar will definitely help with that chain CC. I already see this plenty in solo queue where Varus and an Alistar, the Alistar just goes in there, stun locks him, and Varus ults him, and they can just burst him down in seconds. So that's a good support taking.
So it's looking like both bot lanes are going to be solidified here. Ezreal Tarek versus Varus Alistar. Very strange bot lane. Not one that I see as very conventional when I think of bot lane. When I think of bot lane, I think Caitlyn, Morgana, Zaya, Rakan, that kind of thing. So these are just very interesting picks for me, at least.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting due to the fact that it's a lot of poke from both sides, but right now it seems like I feel like Ezreal will be probably taking a little bit more of the lead in the beginning with that early poke, but if Virus can get a few picks here or there, or even just gets a little ahead of the Ezreal, he can become out of control. So it's definitely going to be coming down to more mechanical skill than right now than the champs themselves.
Not only that, but we're going to see Trundle in the jungle.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I've seen a couple Trundles actually already in the ACEL play, and every time I've seen a Trundle play, it's usually been encounter like a heavy like auto attacks type of comp from the enemy team. So picking a Trundle into this is kind of iffy. It depends on what their jungle will be, but he's definitely an aggressive one that starts to fall off though towards the late game.
We saw that Ornn get locked in rather quickly, I might add.
Yeah, and the Ornn is actually, I've seen a lot in the pro play lately. He has a lot of CC and everything, and especially since there's no Braum or anything there to stop his ult, he can definitely be a big impact, especially in that early game. So it'd be interesting with the top laner. I don't know if that's a Trundle, jungle Trundle, but if it's a top Trundle, I can definitely see the Ornn having trouble. But the Ornn will have advantages in the beginning of his laning phase.
Both of these teams have really made some very strange priorities here. Like we're seeing Malzahar, Olaf banned. Azir makes sense, but this is a very weird pick and ban phase for me.
Yes, the Azir makes sense because now they only have a mid. TCU took the Azir. TCU only has a mid and a jungle per se left, so the Azir ban makes sense, trying to get rid of the mid laner pool a little bit more. While the Malzahar seems more targeted, and the Anivia, there's another mid lane that makes sense. But the Olaf from TCU is kind of interesting due to the fact that Trundle was already picked, and I wouldn't see why they would need an Olaf unless that's a Trundle top, and they might have wanted an Olaf jungle. But for the most part, I feel like the Olaf ban was a little off. They could have probably went for more of a key role, like a mid lane ban or a top lane. And it seems like a Kayn now will be picked up on the TCU side. So I'm definitely seeing that's going to be their jungle. And I'm thinking with the amount of tank they have right now, it's probably going to be a blue Kayn. So we're going to see some quick moves from that Kayn this match.
And are we going to see some Riven mechanics right now? Come on, please. I want to see it.
Yeah, Riven could be a definite pick, but it seems like they'll be Galio now instead. Riven would have been an interesting fight against Ornn, but I don't know. Galio is probably going to go mid, so but we don't know who he's going to go mid against right now.
I wanted to see the Riven top. I really wanted to.
Yeah, Riven is fun to watch, but she needs to be at least with their opponent or ahead to be actually able to have an impact in the later game stage, which Kled doesn't need as much because he is just the rambunctious soldier here, man. Kled is a great pick, I think, for the top lane against this Ornn. He'll be able to sustain with the Ornn and be able to take those big hits and not get bursted as fast due to the fact that Skarl has his own health bar and everything.
Be scary that both teams left Rise mid potentially open. Oh, never mind. We see the Karma pick instead. Karma into Galio, most likely.
I don't know.
Galio jungle.
No, I don't think it would be Galio jungle. It would be funny to watch a Galio jungle.
I miss Galio jungle. Come on.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that in a while, but nah.
On Galio jungle when he first came out with that rework, it was kind of fun.
It was because Galio could do anything he wanted. He could be the AD carry if he wanted.
Right. I feel about both these team comps. We're not seeing like a lot of late game aside from maybe that Varus per se, but we're not seeing a lot of early game pressure either per se. So how do you think these matchups are going to go?
This is probably going to be slow in the beginning. I think if anybody's going to die in the beginning, it's either going to be in the bot or the mid. Top just seems like it's going to be another tank fest unless Kled plays sloppy and the Ornn gets them. But Kayn's probably going to be a little bit more aggressive on this Trundle. And since he's blue Kayn, he's got to be careful not to get hit by the Trundle ult who absorbs attack damage since he's going to be building a lot of attack damage and such. So that's a thing. But Karma into this Galio is very interesting to me due to the fact that Karma for the most part is kind of a little bit only's got her sprint from her shield, and then she has her stun from her one ability that lassos Galio. So for the most part, I think if this Galio all end on this Karma, she probably might get bursted down. So she's gonna be having to be careful for the most part. But anyways, so let's run down real quick. We got Kled in the top lane versus Ornn. And then we have Trundle versus Kayn in the jungle, Galio versus Karma in the mid, Ezreal and Taric for the bot side of UTS versus Varus, and Alistar for the bot lane of TCU. So how do you feel about these two team comps? Who do you think would win? How about we go from top to bottom as well? Who do you think would win the top lane?
I think the top lane is very much so a skill-oriented matchup. Ornn into Kled is kind of a 50-50. Ornn's not really in the greatest spot top lane at the moment, but you did mention that he does have a lot of team fight potential. So I think that's going to be where that Ornn might be able to shine really well. It's kind of a little bit weird. I typically see Trundle played against like Aftershock type champions.
Yeah.
The fact that they picked that very early on was very surprising to me compared to this Kayn, who even though Kayn might start off a little slow towards the mid game, once he gets that form transformation, might have the potential to carry the game from there, or take over the game, I should say. Galio into Karma, I think that's very much so in Galio's favor, just because of the way that Galio builds, and Galio's magic damage passive is really going to be negating a lot of Karma's frontal assault. Word to me, but I think it's very much so going to be a 50-50 split between the Ezreal Taric and the Varus Alistar, depending on which one of those two AD carries starts to take over the game first. I think Ezreal Taric is a lot more safer than Varus Alistar because of Ezreal's Arcane Shift dodging, kind of crowd control, and Taric's ultimate going to be able to protect Ezreal. On the other hand, Alistar and Varus have a lot more playmaking potential with Alistar's combo and Varus's ultimate. I think overall, not one of these teams seems to be inherently stronger than the other. It's definitely going to be a lot more of a skill-based matchup between these teams. I think we're going to see the game's being decided by a lot of team fights in the mid game.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be probably slow in the beginning. But it's whoever gets those first kills and those first objectives, and really, I feel like it's going to be whoever is more of a coherent team. I think that both of these comps have very good combos with like Khaled taking the entire team in, Galio somehow getting his taunt off, or saying like the Alistar getting a bunch of knockups into a Karma's Q getting that empowered Q getting the slow, and Orin's ult. So there's a lot of combos on both sides of the team, and I feel like no matter what, it's just going to come down to who's the better team in the end, who's got the more skill, more mechanics, who's just better as an entire unit, as per se, like one person just carrying the entire game.
I agree with that. Something that I did take in mind though is the fact that both supports in the bot lane took Ignite as their additional summoner spell instead of Exhaust. So I wonder if we're going to be seeing the junglers visit bot lane very frequently, or at least very early on. So we might be seeing some like early bot lane ganks around 3 minutes is what I might be anticipating just by seeing that Ignite. Summoner spell choices are very interesting.
Yeah. So let's just real quick take a look at these masteries and summoning spells. It seems like Top's normal with the flash and teleport. Galio taking the teleport, which is usually normal for a mid Galio. But what's interesting is for UTS, Terex took the Avery, which is interesting because I don't see him getting too much damage off in this play, in this type of matchup here. So it's going to be interesting how he uses that per se, because the only time he's actually going to really get the proc that is either through say a stun or from him just auto attacking. Those are like the only two things he actually has a physical like attacking. I do see that from his shield he might actually be able to use it as well, but it seems more like I would have took say like a for took a more of a resolve tree type of thing, like maybe an aftershock or a the bond, which allows you to take some damage or be able to bring a shield to help shield your AD carry from maybe getting bursted by the Varus. So but other than that though, I see this seems pretty normal for me.
Art for both teams covering the wide range of the river here. And while we're at it, before any action does start off, let's all make sure that we're all up to speed by clicking that lovely, lovely plus icon at the very bottom, just to make sure that we're all synchronized at the very start of this, making sure that there are no issues with that.
Yes, for sure. And
Somehow
that's always a problem with spectator, but though I think we'll be able to stay, if not really there, up to the whole entire game to be able to give you guys as close to the action as possible, keeping up to date. So it seems like everyone's going to a nice defensive. Kane will be starting in his Raptors like he usually does, while Trundle's going to be starting down at the red. And we're going to have a game pause here real quick.
Paused.
So
Alio accidentally got disconnected.
yeah, seeing how this beginning is, it seems like nobody's really being aggressive, so there's not going to be any invades. So let's talk about the jungle real quick. Do you think Trundle or this Kane is going to invade each other, or are they just going to respect each other's jungles in the beginning and maybe try to go for like a mid or bot gank?
To be perfectly honest, Kane has to 110% focus on ganking lanes. He needs to get that passive finished as quickly as humanly possible. So I don't think Kane has the time to really invade anything because it's just too risky to invade the enemy jungler if you're also not going to get a kill out of it. It's I think it's a lot more. It's more worth it for Kane to gank more than invade the other person's jungle. And as for Trundle, I think his clear speeds initially might be a little bit too slow for early invade, but he does have the potential to invade if something were to go awry.
That's sure. And the thing with Kane is that if you had to notice, actually, for the side of UTS, they actually have only one ranged champion. So Kane, if he wants to actually take blue Kane, he needs to gank bot a ton and he has to hit the Ezreal. Because other than that, he's just going to be proccing his red Kane, which if he's going red Kane, that's perfect for him. But if he's not, he's going to have to wait that extra 5 minutes after getting red Kane to then go blue Kane. So that's something we have to keep in mind, that this Kane, no matter how much he ganks and everything, he will only turn to blue Kane if he hits the Ezreal enough.
I think Kane would most likely want to go red Kane though. I mean, their team already has a lot of crowd control between the Ornn, a little bit the Karma, mostly the Alistar and the Varus ultimate. But I think adding to that CC chain with Kane red form can actually prove to be very helpful for their team here.
Yeah, I definitely could see that too. They do have already enough burst, so if he does want to go Red Cane, I could see why he would, especially since the enemy team seems very tanky. I don't know if the Galio will be building tanky Galio. Probably going to be going more bursty due to the fact that he has a Kled and a Trundle who sometimes gets tanky, but he's more of like a brawler who needs to fight to actually stay alive. But Kled and Tarek will be giant tanks. So for the most part, his blue cane would only really work against Ezreal and maybe Galio. So yeah, I would see that blue cane might not work out per se, but if he if he wants to get blue cane, it's gonna be a lot more of a hassle than just taking red cane and going for that the extra CC he'll get.
I think it makes a lot more sense for the Galio to actually build tanky, so I'm going to disagree in that regard, only because that allows them to play around the Ezreal a lot more. If you have 4 tanks on your team, you can kind of rely on your Ezreal. Hello, I'm Hank does have a tendency to really pop off on the AD carry role, so it would make sense to have like an unstoppable wall or front line for Ezreal to kind of hide behind and take over the game in that respect.
Yeah, but you also gotta be careful going completely tanky due to the fact that if you rely that heavily on your Ezreal and he gets picked, it's just gonna be game over since you don't have the damage to back up anymore. So in the regards of playing Protect the President, that is for sure the best thing to do. But if your president drops, the entire rest of the government is just gonna crumble after that.
It's gonna crumble. I like that. I think that does fit into this narrative that we're thinking or predicting that it's gonna be a lot of a very bot lane heavy game.
Yes.
I think is what we're going to be seeing here.
They're going to be relying on bot lane carries. Yeah, jungle seems like they're going to be impacting in the fact that they'll give pressure to help their lanes, maybe reducing like, say, someone being overly aggressive and everything. But I don't know if they're going to be the carries per se, unless this Trundle or this King gets exceedingly fed. It doesn't seem like it's going to be too much. And we see in the mid lane this Karma already taking her ranged advantage over this Galio by just trying to make sure to keep as much farm away from him as possible to try to make him ineffective towards mid game.
A little bit of poke happening down in the bot lane though. Ezreal going to E flash forward. Not going to get anything much out of that except for lowering Varus to quite a low HP. He's finding himself a little bit too low. The flash into the stun. Coming out from Tarek, Ezreal is getting a lot of poke off. Alistar trying to make it happen, but he's forced to flash out. Ezreal is keeping that poke on. That's the first blood for Tarek. Bear's trying to make things happen, but it's not quite enough. Meanwhile, Trundle is visiting the mid lane. Karma does not use any summoner spells in that exchange, aside from Ignite.
All right, down to the bot lane. Let me break that down real quick for you guys. What happened was Tarek was able to catch the Varus out, and so the Varus was getting dropped very low, so Alistar started to try to sacrifice himself to help his buddy Varus out, but he tried to knock the Tarek back towards the Varus to try to get more damage, but what that allowed Tarek to do was, since he had Ignite, he ignited the Alistar before the Varus got his heal off to reduce the amount of healing that the Alistar would get to be able to guarantee a kill for his AD carry, which I feel is a very smart play by the Tarek there. So all in all, I think that was a great play by the blue side for UTS, and they did a great job of Hank and shadowy figures. Great teamwork there.
Fortunate part about that is they used 3 summoner spells compared to red team's 2. Ezreal used Flash, Tarek used Flash and Ignite, so they're definitely in a summoner spell disadvantage, which might shortly later on.
Yes, for sure. And it seems like the Galio actually had to use Flash and teleport during that a little skirmish in the mid lane while Bot was getting a ganks or just fighting in general. So that's gonna put him behind a little bit.
Well, very aggressive down on the bot lane from Alistar, but nothing else out of that.
That's for sure. It seems like Trundle's invading.
Off in the mid lane, though. He's going to be doing a lot of damage to Karma. Karma's finding himself a little bit too low. Trundle tries to flash. Depression gets the kill. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Tarek is getting another stun. Nothing else is coming out of that. Alistar trying to be the aggressor now. He gets a double knock up into the stun. Varus trying to go for a little bit more poke damage. Ezreal forced to use his flash to, his heal in order to keep his Tarek alive. And no other kills come out of that.
Yeah, that was really close. The Tarek could have actually been able to be almost bursted out completely, but luckily he still was able to use his natural heal from his ability and was able to just walk away cleanly before getting completely ambushed.
Very close. And now they're practically even in terms of summoner spells down in the bot lane. Kind of even now too, since Karma was killed off by the Trundle.
Yes, and it seems
Galio is
like
not out of sync.
and it seems like the earlier the Kane wasn't able to redeem his fallen combatant in his own jungle, so he was able to give Galio a little bit of a boost, even though if it was just an assist. Or actually, he didn't get anything, but the Trundle was able to get ahead a little bit. So this is gonna put Kane a little bit behind and allows Trundle to have a little bit more pressure towards the lanes from now on.
Kill's already going over to the blue side. A lot of pressure coming on bot lane. Oh, wait a minute. The Ezreal uses his arcane shift forward to get the stun onto the Bears. It's not quite enough. He takes a lot of damage in return to that Alistar, who they completely ignored.
Yeah, that was really, really well played. I can definitely feel UTS's side has a lot more teamwork right now in the bot lane than the than TCU's. But it seems like Karma's getting hit a little
Scuffle's
bit.
going down in the
Yeah, in top lane too.
Even in the top lane too. All kinds of chaos happening all over the map at this point.
Yeah, for sure. But what I was saying is UTS seems like they're working better as a bot lane duo right now than TCU per se. They're able to communicate. They're able to combo each other's abilities a lot, which is very good.
Galio finding himself a little bit too low here. He gets killed off by Lemur with the ignite. How unfortunate.
That is for sure. And it seems like Kled is up in the top lane right now. He's starting to try to get back with his long-last companion, Scarl. He's able to grab her back and is able to get back into being more safer in his farm against this Ornn. Kane seems to be going mid a lot right now. I think it's because he's responding to the Trundle having come mid as a lot too. So it seems like bot lane's just left to their own to figure out their problems with each other, while the Trundle and Kane are focusing more towards this mid lane to try to get both of their sides up above the other one.
Over by the blue side in this game so far, almost all three of their lanes are just pushed up and kind of dominating at this point. A little bit of a trade happening in the top lane, but nothing else aside from that.
Yes, for sure. And it seems like right now blue does have the lead in UTS, but TCU still can come back in this thing. They're not too far ahead. I mean, UTS is not too far ahead, so I feel like even though they're getting behind right now, the mid game is going to be where it's mostly decided. So don't count them out too fast.
It's definitely anybody's game. We're nowhere near the
No,
end or even the beginning.
Nowhere. It just seems like right now.
A little bit, that's all.
Yeah, there seems like a lot of people just getting caught out right now, if anything.
People already starting to hit their key ultimate timers. Bot lane about to approach level 6 here. Some sort of trade. Here comes the Tarek just in the nick of time. Kane's going to visit the bot lane. There goes the Alistar combo coming off. Tarek is forced to use his ultimate Cosmic Radiance in order to keep the Ezreal alive. He's forced to use his ultimate as well. Kane is finding himself in a little bit of an awkward situation after using his Humble Trespass. He's going to get picked off by Depression on Trundle.
And also Tarek was able to pick up a kill on the Alistar as well, which was pretty crazy. It seems like even though TCU wanted to make a big play there, having the Tarek and Ezreal being so pushed up, they just Trundle was not too far behind, and they were able to turn it out real quick because Tarek's been landing a lot of key stuns. If you've noticed, he's been great at positioning those stuns to make sure he gets the most profit.
Galio.
Use.
And the teleport coming over from the top lane. Trundle dies to the dragon, and Lemur picks up the kill as a result. Here comes Call of the Forge God trying to find somebody. Galio gets knocked up. Ezreal's forced to heal in response, and they're all going to back off with barely their lives.
Honestly, that was just bad luck. It was just bad luck for the Trundle. He was just so close to the dragon to the point where the Karma, when she hit towards the dragon, she was able to proc the dragon as well, and they started dragon, so they just started beating on the Trundle, and he just wasn't ready for the damage.
Dragon for red team though.
Yeah,
Out of nowhere.
Kane died to the dragon, which is not what happened.
Oh, Galio did teleport back into his lane. He's already finding himself super low. He's going to have to flash away. A little too scared of the Kane and the Karma with the double buffs.
Yeah, that's for sure. It seems like Galio was trying to just get some more CS, but now it seems like the Karma's just going to be taking that lead a little bit over him, and he's now going to have to respect her a lot more in lane and not be able to be as far up in his lane without being punished.
He's half tabled, I should say, and now Kled is finding himself a little bit low HP, but he's just going to get the couple of pokes off with his axe, get back Scarl, and just be totally fine with it.
Yeah, that was really aggressive there for UTS. Luckily, the Kane wasn't anywhere near there, probably because he saw him up top. But he should be very careful that when he gets low like that, because even though he can get Skull back pretty quickly, he needs to be
Oh,
careful.
hold that thought. Ezreal's going to get caught out by Varus Ultimate. He's going to try an Arcane Shift, but it's not quite enough. Cosmic Radiant's going to come through, but it's not enough. The Humble Trespass kills off Ezreal. Meanwhile, in the top lane, both Trundle and Kled going to flash forward, trying to get the pick off, and they do. Transmuted Gold on Ornn goes down.
Yeah, that was luckily yeah, that was a lot happening. Kane was just farming that entire time while the Trundle was able to help assist in that top lane. Karma tried to react to helping that top, but it seems like she's just going to be backing off for now and probably going to go defend that mid lane more. While TCU is now going to take the advantage of being able to push back the since the Ezreal and Tark aren't in lane right now, they might be actually able to get a first tower here and really get that extra gold that they need right now to get back in this.
Eric's going to try and salvage it, but it's not quite enough. So while blue team has been able to do really well with these kills, and they have a lot of pressure on the opposite side of the map, you're seeing red team here so far has had pretty good objective control, getting the first blood turret and the dragon, which is going to be a huge gold advantage on their perspective. Galio with a little bit of a skirmish down in the mid lane, getting the full taunt off. Karma forced to flash away. Kane comes just to say hello and make sure that she gets away to safety.
Yeah, it's for the objective control. The red side has been able to get both the mid lane pretty low, and they got the bot completely, while their top lane suffering a little bit because Kled just keeps pushing in that lane for the most part. But for the trade for the bot tower, blue side got the Rift Herald, which is, I think, it's an okay trade. They're losing that first tower goal, but now they have insane lane pressure. If they get an ace, they could just run it down the lane.
Oh, the filler gonna catch off Ornn off guard. He's forced to use Call the Forge God, but it's already too late. He dies. Kane tries to visit top lane to make something happen, but he just gets there a little too late.
Yeah, it's
however,
I
going
think
to try to clean up.
Yeah. Oh shoot, Karma's coming in.
Oh, wait a minute. She gets the root off onto Trouble, and the Ignite going to come off as well. Galio forced to ult towards the top lane. All of them are severely low HP. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Ezreal's going to find himself getting stunned and picked off by the Varus and Alistar combo. They're looking for a little bit more. Tarek is forced to run away. Meanwhile, Hello, I'm Hank goes down. Trundle, or excuse me, not Trundle. Galio and Kled do survive the gank, but Trundle goes down to Karma's Ignite.
Yeah. That was a lot at once, I can tell you that for sure. What was happening there was, I think Karma was just trying to help the top lane so this Kled doesn't keep pushing it in, but she just wasn't prepared for the amount of damage that Trundle and Kled both had. And it seems like Kane's just he
just wants the tower, but he's getting a lot of free damage off from the Kane.
Yeah, Kled's just not caring about this Kane at all with this damage. It seems like he's just not doing that much to him. He's just gonna
bot lane's going to rotate mid. Galio's finding himself in a little bit of an awkward situation.
Ooh, he's gonna be trying to rush away.
Get out of there, but they're really pushing him down. He's gonna find himself getting caught off by the Alistar and the Ornn, who comes in to help and save the day.
Alistar
down. Alistar on a killing spree.
Oof, man, you gotta be careful that when you get raging cow, man, mad cow disease right now is going crazy.
Mad cow disease.
Just destroying everybody. But now, Ornn probably wants to push in his lane now. He seems like he's going to try to catch this Tarek out of place, but he really should try to push his lane down because he's the only one right now actually losing lane a little bit since his tower's almost done. And bot lane's starting to lose their tower a little bit, but they do have the bot and they seem like they're going to be trying to take the mid tower right now. So objective-wise, they're doing well.
A pivotal mid game is starting to come to fruition now. Ezreal is going to use his ultimate just to thin out the wave and make sure that they cannot tower dive him under his own turret. However, I'm not entirely sure. Kane's looking for something here. Not quite enough. They're just going to pressure the mid turret, and that's going to open up a lot of options for them to go either top side to break that first tier turret, or even bot side as well.
Yeah, it seems like Kled's just going to be up here bullying Ornn, poor Ornn. Forge God just getting bullied by the old war veteran, but he's going to be probably trying to take this top tower soon so that they can at least get something objective-wise over top of TCU and be able to start have a Kled roam farther away from that tower and be able to maybe help with the mid or bot. But for the most part, TCU has just been able to catch out the UTSA.
Kled really wants the Terry.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to announce this stuff, but this Kled he's playing to Kled as the champion. He's basically role playing.
Yeah, going
He's
all the
just
way inside.
not caring about the enemy champion. He just does what he wants.
Rift Herald is going to be popped mid lane. That's going to attract a lot of attention from both teams here. Oh, hold on. What is this? Kane's going to find himself getting stunned. He's forced to use his humble trespass just to try and survive. Ezreal ultimate going to come out one more time. Not going to find his mark, but here comes Kled with the charge. He's going to hit Karma and he goes all the way inside. Galio's going to get a little bit more support off. Here comes Tarek getting the lots of stuns onto the Varus. He's going to go down. Tarek is on a killing spree. Call of the Forge God going to knock out 3 members of Blue Team's team. Now Galio's finding himself in a really awkward situation, but it's not quite enough. Alistair goes down. Kane's now trying to make something happen. He gets the kill onto Tarek, but he gets obliterated in response. A lot of kills going on both teams.
Yeah, and it seems like the UTS will be taking two kills there. Yeah, 3 kills. They got 3 kills to the 2 kills that TCU are going to be taking, and UTS is also going to get a pretty good dragon. So I think in the end they got mid turret, and they're trying to take a dragon here. So it's pretty beneficial for them in this trade.
Ornn and Karma are finding themselves in a little bit of a sticky predicament. Ezreal getting a lot of poke off. He's focusing the Karma exclusively, but look at that damage that Karma's able to dish out in response. Ornn's going to flash forward and get the kill onto Hello, I'm Hank, and now all of a sudden, Trundle is finding himself in a really awkward situation, going to use the blast plant, but now Ornn is there to find himself in an even awkwarder situation. Karma flashes over the wall and still onto the Trundle, so it may not even be worth. That's not going to stop them from chasing them down.
Yeah, Karma's just being bloodthirsty at this point. I think she wasted a flash trying to get there, but... Ooh.
Aggressive onto the Varus here. He finds himself under half HP, but now Tarek is getting a lot of damage in response. He dies to Karma.
I thought their Varus got caught out, and I honestly thought he was going to go down, but luckily his team was not too far behind. He was able to take the Tarek down, who used the stun already and was on cooldown, so he had no way to actually escape their damage.
Bot side, they're trying to disperse. It's what it's looking like here. And they are going to back away, not wanting to overextend to any other play now that they've established themselves as contenders in this game, so to speak.
Yeah, they're going to be taking the red buff from Trundle, so he will be losing that from a counter jungle from the entire team of TCU. But they also have all their lanes pushing in right now. Top red is going to be pushing into the blue tower right now. It's not probably going to do too much damage because Kled's coming in for the action there. But it was a good attempt to try to take back what they just lost from UTS. But in the end, they were only able to get about a Varus kill from it. So
in the meantime, though, let's both the casters and the streamer press that lovely speed up button until you can't speed up anymore, just to make sure that we're all synced up. Since we have some minor audio synchronization problems this game, we do apologize for that.
Yep, sorry. Blame it on the. I always blame it on the man stream. But no, let's keep on going about this game because it's actually been a really great game right now. Both teams have been it's like a tug of war right now. Right now, the red side, even though they look like they've been tugging on that rope a lot, blue side took a great haul back there, and now they're up about 1k gold. So they're both even on the towers right now. Both of them have an Earth Drake. Both of them have 10 kills, so they're pretty much neck and neck at this point. And then
on the mid lane, are we going to see a team fight break out? The call of the Forge God going to come out from the Ornn. He's going to knock up Tarek. He uses his Cosmic Radiance, and Galio is going to come in with the Hero's Entrance, knocking up 3 people. Now, Humble Trespass is not going to be enough as the Tarek falls down, and now the entire blue team is going all the way inside with Kled's charge. Transmutated gold on the Ornn is going to fall, and Kled's looking for a little bit more. He pulls the Alistar and gets that lovely double kill. Karma and Varus are running for their lives, but the Pillar's going to knock him up. Kled with the triple kill onto the Varus now. Leaving only Karma alive on their team.
That was a lot of pretty colors
right there.
There was a lot happening.
Kled's bloodthirsty.
It might not be done yet.
He's going to back off.
Yeah, he's going to back. He's not. Kled might be crazy, but he's not that crazy. It seems he's not going to keep going on that Karma. A lot of CC was happening there. The call of the Forge guy was a great play by Ornn there. Oh, Karma.
Hold that thought. Karma's finding himself really low.
Ooh.
missed the Q, the empowered Q, and Ezreal gets a kill as a result.
I think Ez would have been dead there if she
Ez
would have
would
hit
be
that power Q. So it was very close. It seems like a
The Tarek is going to let him get the stun off the pillar onto the Alistar, and he's going to end up dying once again. Charseer's on a rampage.
man. I think TSU needs to stop going in one right now. I mean, one on like 4 or something. They keep like filing in, and it's allowing UTS to now do this Baron right now. Let's see, is Kane gonna be able to steal this, or is it gonna be? It's gonna be the fight of the smites, I think, right now.
Something as a jungler main I never appreciate, as it never goes in my favor. That's not true. It always goes in my favor, but it always makes me super nervous trying to land that smite.
I think Galio should right now be actually sticking towards that wall to try to taunt the Kled out of
coming through. Cosmic Radiance on the Tarek. They're going to continue trying to force this Baron, however. Varus going to miss his ultimate. Who's going to get the Baron smite? Blue team slays Baron Natcher. Almost trespass onto the Kled, but it doesn't matter. Kled's going to charge right into the fray. Galio finding himself a little bit low, but Hello, I'm Hank is already on a killing spree. Look at that, all that damage being tossed out by blue team. Trundle's going all the way inside, but he's going to fall to Lemur he's going to fall onto Lemur's Karma. Now Kled finding himself in a little awkward situation, gets Scarl back in the nick of time. He's going to continue to try and get the damage onto the Varus. He gets the double kill, and he's going to get the triple kill, and doesn't die with just a sliver of health remaining. What an amazing play.
Man, I got to give it to Tarzier? Tarzier? I think it's Tarzier. You guys have weird names, I'll be honest with you. It's hard to pronounce some of them, but you are godlike at this game. That was great playing by that Kled. He stuck to fighting, which is what Kled needed to do there. If he would have backed off at any second or second-guessed himself at any point in time, he would have died, I felt, instantly. So the fact that he was able to keep getting that damage off allowed him to be able to keep sustaining and was able to just completely smoke both the Varus and the Karma out. So I applaud thee, Kled. I applaud thee for that fight right there.
What an absolute monster. Just barely gets out of there alive with just a sliver of health. Meanwhile, all kinds of chaos going on with everybody else just getting picked off and dying all over the place. But Kled just goes all the way inside. Gets a second triple kill of the game, by the way.
Yeah, he's
that
just a monster.
That guy's going to be a monster for the rest of the game.
UTS is able to actually pick up that Elder Drake there. But they're gonna have that Baron buff.
Himself in an awkward situation in between several champions, though. He's gonna get quickly and easily picked off. He tries to get the triple knockup. Not gonna be enough. Oh, wait a minute, hang on. Let me hold that thought. Never mind. He does indeed die. Flagship. Kled's trying to look for a little bit more. The Cosmic Radiant's gonna get popped very early onto the Tarek.
Yeah.
Back off instead. They don't want to overcommit to this play. They're going to use their Baron buff to try and pressure this bot lane turret a little bit, or at least as much as they can. Kled going to find himself in an awkward situation. He's just going to get the jousting out of there, and their minion wave is no longer there to support them, so they might have to back off, but that's not going to stop Kane from being underneath 50% HP. Ultimate here, which is exactly what he's going to do. The call, the forward god. Oh, but he gets stunned out of it, so it misses instead. Kane gets a little bit baited there, and Hello, I'm Hank is now on a rampage. Kled is going to do what Kleds do best and pressure the rest of the team, forcing them away from there. Yeah. It would have been really nice, but unfortunately he got Tarek stunned, and that baited red team to try to get a couple kills off, but that CC changes never came through, and they ended up dying instead.
Yeah, I think UTS is now just taking what they got from that Baron pick and just rolling with the lead that they're taking now. But they Ezreal still needs to be careful because that Karma still does a ton of damage, and every time you've seen him get hit by especially the empowered Q from Karma, he loses like half his HP. So even though they are really ahead, Ezreal's just got to be very careful not to get hit by those Karma Qs.
How bad are these audio sync issues? Let's all fast forward one more time right now. Audio sync issues according to chat. I don't know if they're trolling us anymore, but let's all fast forward. All of us. Everybody. No more audio sync issues. We're done. That's over with. Baby rage in the chat for the audio sync.
Bad, man. For sure. And it seems like Orin's going to be trying to go defend his top lane, but does he know that the entire UTS is just coming here to come? Oh, I don't think he knows.
UTSA.
Oh.
He's gonna get stun locked there. He's gonna take a buttload of damage. He's not getting out of there. Hello, I'm Hank with that lovely KS is now unstoppable.
That is just, he just needs more of those kills, you know? He didn't have enough damage before, but now he has enough damage to completely push in. Now they're just going to completely push in this top as a team right now.
Gonna go all the way inside. Kled uses his charge to get some pressure onto the Karma. The pillar coming off on the Varus here, but he's not gonna find himself dead quite yet. Ezreal's gonna, unfortunately, with his ultimate, not gonna get any further kills on this. And now it's Red Team's turn to try and, before things just hit the fan. Unfortunately, that's gonna be their inhibitor going down, and it's starting to look kind of spooky for...
So one thing I'm seeing is that UTS seems to be always grouped. They always seem to be as a team, and they're synchronizing as a team together. While TCU is just not being there for each other. It seems they seem like they're getting picked out here and there, and that's why they're losing most of these fights. It seems like Varus gets picked out maybe a section, or like how in that fight the Orin got picked out first, and then they just started rolling while the Kane's still pushing up through the mid lane. There's only 3 people back in the base to defend. So I think UTSA, while they have a great team and they're staying together and everything for the most part, TCU needs to probably start grouping up more and staying as a single unit. Because right now you can see the Orin's going back to the top lane because he needs to clear, because now they have to not be as a team. Whereas before, if they were all together, maybe saying like, oh, let's watch towards the top lane maybe a little more, or oh, let's not push out multiple lanes at once, to allow them to have that single push at that time.
Now we're starting to see quite a disparity between both teams. Just a 13k gold lead separates both these teams. Whoa, hold on! Tarek flashes forward to get the stun onto the Bears. He's finding himself in an awkward situation. That's going to be the Ignite also coming off, along with the Trundle ultimate. He gets sniped by Hank, who is now dominating.
Definitely. And now it seems like they're going to just push in this mid lane now. They're just basically peeling away this place as like an onion. They took the top lane inhibitor, and now they're going to take the mid lane. And I feel like in the near distant future, they're also going to be taking that bot lane as well, just making it to the point where then you get those double siege minions, and it just becomes just impossible for TCU to be able to defend the base.
Just have a little bit too much pressure now. Not only are 4 members in the mid lane, but you also have that Kled split pushing down the bot lane. One way or another, you're about to lose another inhibitor very, very soon.
That's for sure.
Especially with that Tarek's going to pop open real quick just to ensure that they can take this tower for absolutely free. And now Kled down in the bot lane is also going to be pressuring that other inhibitor with that tower going down. Galileo flashes with a taunt and gets a quick and easy kill. Call of the Forge God going to be popped by the Ornn, knocking up 2 members of Blue Side's team. Kled's going all the way inside with that charge, and he's going to try and focus a lot of his damage onto the Alistar. Nobody dies just quite yet, but somebody just very closely died. Kane finding himself in an awkward situation, trying to use that Chilling Smite. Not going to be enough, though. That Kled's going to get that easy kill. Inhibitor's down, and Kled teleporting down to the mid lane. This is going to look like the last push for Blue Side here. Kled trying to get another kill off, but that goes Karma getting stunned, locked in CC chain. Tarsier is now legendary. And he's going for a little bit more as he gets the double kill onto the Ornn inside the fountain. Tries to get another kill, but Hello on Hank wants some of that action as well. He's going to be going godlike, and with all members of Red Side teams down, this is looking like the final push, and that's going to be the first game going over to them.
Yeah, it seems like in the end, Kled just completely took off. He is 12-1. He just exploded, and it was just too much for the team to be able to, for TCU to be able to take. And in the end, UTS will be coming out victorious over them.